Time to talk some football. Our weekly visit with the head coach of Geneva College, Geno DeMarco. The Reese's Senior Bowl, where my partner from the Coons Market Black and Gold Sunday Show, part of Milk and Honey Sports / Entertainment, Greg Diolis has been all week, so we'll get some more from him Sunday on the show. But I thought because we have this incredible college coach, we'll talk about some of the big players that the scouts are going to be looking at and what you hope to expect to see them do in this game. We always want to begin with that quarterback position. Dylan Gabriel out of Oregon. So you're a coach, you're at this game. What are you looking for, Coach?
Well, before we even get into this,
here we
go. I got two things for you.
Yes, sir.
All right. I am not an incredible coach.
Yes,
That's
you
number
are.
one. No.
Yes, you are.
Listen, no hyperbole is used in these videos any longer. But more importantly, number two, what are you wearing? Because what I see here is the Beaver Falls High School, and it looks like somebody graduated in 86, whatever, 66, and I know that Bobby Middleman gave this to you, which I think is just an outstanding gesture on his part.
I love Beaver Falls, man.
He is.
What?
He is. Now, but, okay, no, wait. But then, and you did not do this on purpose.
No.
All right, you did not even know that you were doing this today until you walked into my office and I said, Rob, what are you, look at this. So we have a Beaver Falls jacket here.
Right.
But underneath the whole Beaver Falls thing, because you came in and the hat matches the jacket and the walk really good, is a crimson and gold. Yeah, crimson and gold. Crimson and gold. I thought that you had a new Brighton Letterman sweater right underneath this.
I'd love to have one.
Well, you can have mine.
Listen.
What?
That's how you can pay me for doing all these shows. I love all that stuff. And Bobby Middleman has so much stuff at Enlo's. I'm going to be there later today. Why would you go anywhere else?
Just please, everyone that's tuning in right now that have no idea like where we are, what he has right here is a combination of two rivals over the decades.
Battle of the Bridge.
The Battle of the Bridge.
Little Brown Jug.
The Brown Jug, which right now is at New Brighton. Yes, I did. Okay, let's not talk about that. 10,000 people stuffed in a 5,000 seat stadium. Yeah, you know how the crowds get bigger when you get older, and the game gets more grandiose.
And the only reason I have this because whoever had it, they grew out of it.
They grew out of it.
I grew back into it. So what can I say?
Yes.
All right, so you're looking at the quarterback. You're looking to get a quarterback.
Right.
What do you hope to see in this Senior Bowl as a coach?
I don't have any idea like what these guys, they head down there, and it is such an incredible thing for them, a big deal to be there. To see, the most important thing is interacting with these kids during the week. They're really looking at their practice habits. What they're going down and seeing how do they react during practice and finding out if this young man is looking at all this adversity that he faces, and does he, what's his practice habits like?
I was watching on the NFL Network very late last night some of the drills, red zone drills. I love this stuff. I love to watch him do his stuff up on the chalkboard. It's a fascinating game. All right, running back. Etienne, Trevor out of Georgia, another one of them incredible running backs. And I think after this year, I hope, Saquon Barkley, Derrick Henry, we talked about it, Cook up in Buffalo, running the football matters. And I think this young man is coming into the league at the right time.
Well, he certainly is. It's why people have him listed. There's a reason why you brought this list of all these people, because on everyone's list, every one of these people are going to go in the first 20, 25 picks in the draft.
What do you look for in a running back?
Well, for us over the years, it's been different. Okay, when we were an I formation team, it was just somebody that was a running back that could carry the load, give the ball to the kid 25 times a game. And then when we went into air raid and we start running that kind of thing, it was more of a running back to catch balls out of the backfield and be able to get you some yards on his own run. So it was a hybrid position. And then when we went to the triple, our B-back that was right behind the quarterback is the premier guy, but he's in a three-point stance. Running back. They have God-given ability to make cuts, set up blocks,
Vision.
pass blocking, vision, and we all look at the runs and things like that on NFL films from all the great running backs over the years. But what coaches are looking for, they're going to do the dirty work. Are they going to be able to pick up a blitz so the quarterback doesn't get hit in the back of the head? And not all premier running backs have done that, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, I don't know if Eric Dickerson was that kind of guy back there, you know. I don't know. I'm not questioning anything. One of the great, he's made the great.
Single season rushing still to this day, Mark, that Saquon Barkley could have broke, but he decided to sit out the last game, and that's okay too.
But Barkley's going to stick his nose in there and pick somebody up. He does that.
Oh, yeah.
You know.
All right, wide receiver. This Tez Johnson out of Oregon, teammate of Gabriel, exceptional leaping ability, very physical. One thing I've noticed about wide receivers more than ever, even if they're compact like a Tyreek Hill, Antonio Brown was kind of the first. It's Muscle Beach Party. They're very physical. I prefer somebody like a Plexico Burris. I mean, that's the type of wide receiver. If you can get a guy 6'4", 6'5", 230, runs like a 4'5", 4'6", 40, I'm all in. But as a coach, what are you looking for? Does it really depend on what offense you're running?
You said it. You're either going to be 6'4" and 6'5" and be able to go up and just physically outmatch people, or you're gonna have pure speed, and that's what this kid has. That's what Tyreek had. That's what the Chiefs. The Chiefs got that. Well, that kid is from Texas. What they did with him last week, it's just pure speed, and you can't have a little slow guy.
Mm-mm.
We've already.
I know that. Okay, this is the position I really love to talk about. Offensive line, the offensive tackle, Anthony Belton out of NC State. You got to have him. You just got to have the muscle up front on both sides. But the offensive line has never been more crucial. That's why they're getting so much money now in the league. They are a viable commodity. What do you want to see in an offensive lineman?
Probably the same thing every other coach is looking for. If you're running, if you're throwing the ball, that left tackle position is going to be where you're putting your best guy. It's just so much money allotted for the left tackle. You look for somebody that, you either have road graders that'll just absolutely dominate the line of scrimmage and be able to block two people, or you have linemen that have incredible feet. And this is where it gets real interesting. Some of the really, really big guys, because very few of them have the ability to be able to combo block, or duo block as quick as possible and get off. The Eagles' offensive line is the best.
Without Jason Kelsey, too. Amazing.
Is the best. And they're doing it, and they're absolutely, I don't think people understand when you're looking at 6'7", 6'8". 6'8". 6'7", 6'8", 6'6".
350 backpedaling and blocking at the same time.
Yeah. So.
Now, what's the difference? Now, we go from an offensive tackle, and obviously the left tackle, the blind spot, that's the big tackle. But an interior offensive lineman, why are they so crucial? Obviously, pulling guards, what have you, center.
They make a lot of combination blocks. They make a lot of calls, a lot of adjustments in the pass protection, however you want to define it. You're either sliding one way or another, and sometimes when you play an odd defense, it's very difficult to find out, and that's the beauty of the Steelers' defense, of where it's coming from. And you're going to have to adjust the formation. Some of these inside guys actually have to pop out and save the quarterback. But I think we saw something happen last week where we had a center, his ankle was so absolutely, he couldn't move. It was a kid from the Eagles. And he got exposed on a blitz because he couldn't slide. But those guys, look, the offensive line on any football team, to me, typifies the whole idea of team. And you walk around for years of going around, as a walk around and go from drill to drill on this practice field, you find out that the offensive line, these guys have such a culture amongst themselves that it transcends even the team. Like if you're an offensive lineman from New Brighton and you're an offensive lineman from Beaver Falls, 30 years from now, you're going to sit down and talk about the fact that you were an offensive lineman. Like, I've got 3 linemen here as coaches, okay? They're just, they hang together because all their life they have done the job and understand the call of what they're to do, but they never get their name up. There isn't one statistic that shows what an offensive lineman does. No. Sacks, defensive line, hey, he's got sack. That guy's pretty good. Receiver, catches, running back, yards, quarterback, you got everything.
You know a guy that really overachieved, and I love watching him talk ball on the Pat McAfee show out of Moon High School, A.Q. Shipley.
He really did.
Geno, that guy,
he did. He
knows
just got
his football.
He knows his football. He kept getting better and better.
Played in a Super Bowl.
Played in a Super Bowl. He came out at Moon, and here he is a great example of, we're talking about NFL guys, right?
Right.
He wasn't a guy that was like off the charts coming out of Penn State.
No.
He wasn't a guy that was off the charts coming out of Moon. But you look at what he did in the NFL and how he fit the niche, and he absolutely knows football.
Oh.
And I think that's the one thing that you can't put on here is this idea of football IQ. There's guys that know how to play the game, and they do it in such a quick manner that it doesn't show up on a 40 or doesn't show up at some, combine. It's just their ability to process information and do that. And that's what he did. And he's no small guy. I mean, let's face it. He's really improved his body over the years.
All right, so last position has become like the glamour position, the edge rusher. This Sherman Stewart out of Texas A&M. Why now edge rusher? Because of these quarterbacks, read option, ability to run, throw. Is that why they've become so important?
The ball's getting thrown quicker in today's game. The whole idea of the edge rusher, people are going now, if you look, thinner, quicker, longer arms. This becomes now, the whole idea. I think Lawrence Taylor probably became the first edge rusher, and we didn't know it back then, but now he absolutely positively changed that position. And very seldom do you have a defensive end that doesn't have he has to have length. I mean, he has to have width. He has to be able to bend. It's amazing the get off on some of these guys. I remember Myles Garrett coming out of A&M, coming off the ball. But the same thing's happening. You got the kid at Penn State.
Carter, I love that kid.
That kid is...
he would look so good in the black and gold.
Yeah, but from point A to point B,
he's a diesel.
Those guys, they're able to get underneath blocks. It's just speed right off the bat. I mean, so you get these big offensive linemen, and they know that they're going to get out of their stance because it's from point A to point B. And once that defensive end gets to point B right here, and you see the shoulder pads of the offensive tackle goes like this, it's over. It's over. So it really is like, at what point can I get to here to at least get a piece of this kid? And Yeah, it's a fascinating game.
Watching the technique is amazing. Warren Sapp's still such a great teacher, too, out there with Dion. I just love the spin move, that swim move that they do, the hook under the shoulder. It's just phenomenal. Okay, now, leading into that game, let's say a week from Sunday, what are you doing as a coach getting ready for a game of this significance? I mean, is it basically football 101, game filled, light practice, hard practice, shoulder pads, no shoulder pads, walk through, rest? I mean, what do you do the week prior to a game like this?
Well, it depends like where it is in the season, and obviously this being towards the end, it's very, very difficult to continue to do the same type of practice at the end of the season that you were doing in the beginning. And recovery from last week's game is paramount to anything. So the first thing that they're doing is they're getting physically, they're taking care of any injury, making sure that players are healthy, making sure, that they've got measurements and knowledge on if that hamstring's ready to go or not. And I'm just using an example. So there's that response as you continue to go on through the season. But from a coach's standpoint, as far as how you put this thing
You're still
together,
breaking film down at this point? You're...
yeah, you really are. You never get out of it. You never get out of the film. No one has an idea of what the amount of man hours that goes into prepping for a football game. And at this point, I mean, we're looking at anything. It's just, it's coaches that have absolutely positively lived in the film room.
So let me ask you as we close here.
Like myself.
Let me ask you. So have you ever been around and around and around, and then one more segment, say the night before the game, said, let me just see that clip again, and went, oh my, did you see that? And that actually is the difference in a game? Has it ever happened to you where at one moment in time has shifted the whole thought process and enabled you to defeat an opponent?
The answer is it happens, it'll happen once, twice, 3 times in a career, but it'll happen enough to create this, well, if I can just get one more look, I might be able to find this.
It's like one good hole in golf. It just keeps making you go back.
It does, but at some point, I mean, what is it? And it's not going to be a structural change. But hey, we can come up with a new play, But then again, there's adjustments that are made on the field, and it may be an in-game adjustment.
Well, if we can track Tommy Contenta down, who was a real quarterback at our alma mater, going to go through some of the best quarterbacks in Western Pennsylvania. You're going to be surprised some of the people on this list that I had completely forgotten about. And then later, we're going to talk a little baseball down there at Enloe's with Bobby. Just trying to give Beaver Falls some love on my Friday trip, trying to stay close to home, putting too many miles on that car. So we'll come back. Tommy Contenta on the other side. Geno DeMarco will be here next week, literally breaking down the game, which will just be days away. And don't forget, every Sunday, Coons Market Black and Gold Sunday Show on KDK Radio. It's your Pratt Pack.